My first SE bike was 1979 quad angle. That was before the BMX Action trick team. It was before a sponsorship with SE. The reason I started riding a PK Ripper was when I was racing, before I had a sponsor, Scott ran the track. And so I became friends with Scott, switched into doing the freestyle stuff. My first sponsor, I talked to Scott about it. And obviously we were friends, had a good connection. He was local, you know, SE was probably 20 minutes from my house. So it was just a good connection, and he was a friend, so it made it real easy. So at the beginning, when the whole freestyle thing started, I was racing, and BMX Action Trick Team started with Bob Haro and R.L. Osborne. They had a falling out, they split, went their own ways. There was a show they already had set up at the Houston Astrodome Supercross race. That's where I was gonna just fill in for that show, and that's where it started for me, was there. We just continued with it. I liked it. It was growing so fast, the sport, and we had so many offers to do stuff that I jumped on the opportunity. I just turned 16. We were traveling every single weekend during the school year because we were all in high school then. When we were on tour and we'd come into towns, it was crazy at the time because everything was brand new. Nobody knew what was going on. I mean, we didn't know how to react to all this. We were just, you know, these kids going around doing what we loved. And the growth from week to week, it would grow. It was growing that fast. And we'd show up and have 1,000 people at a show at a local bike shop. We were able to take it to places where there weren't tracks. You know, kids could ride anywhere. They could go on the street or put a ramp in their front yard and ride. For me, that's what I see in the new wheelie BIKELIFE thing. Is it's the exact same beginning as we had. You could just do it in front of your house. You know, your friends would come over and ride together, and it was fun, not serious, and it blew up. The BIKELIFE scene is just following the exact same path. I got out of BMX in 1986, pretty much from burnout. The sport was changing a lot. It was so hard to stay up. You had to ride every day, 6, 7, 8 hours a day just to stay up. And I just didn't have it in me anymore to push that hard. I wasn't motivated. And so when I quit racing, I started racing speedway motorcycles. Did that for a while, for like 4 years professionally. From that, I went to mountain biking, did that a lot, rode for KHS, you know, pro downhill and slalom. And moving on, then started a family and real life. I got reunited with SC in 2016. Todd called me. It was their 40th anniversary. And he talked to me about doing a replica of my bike.
And I was like, you know, 40-year anniversary, that's, you know, that we got to turn on the heat, you know. So I started thinking, you know, like, hey, let's do some bikes that are super unique, you know, and let's bring back some of these, you know, SE racing BMX legends.
We thought it was going to be a one-year thing. It went really well. I think it's 4 or 5 years later, and it just keeps going. So it's been a fun journey getting back involved in it and riding with all the young kids. It's really fun.
The first Mike Buff replica bike we brought back into the market was the 20-inch PK Ripper, which was the exact bike he rode. You know, when we brought it back, made it to modern day geometry, modern day features, but looks old school, looks just like his bikes did back in the day.
Then we moved to the Big Ripper, the 26, and now the Fat Ripper. It gave a little more leeway on what to do because it wasn't exactly trying to replicate a bike.
And now it's like, it feels like it's come full circle because Buff, for the last 4 years, has really liked riding the Fat Ripper more than, you know, it's just been his favorite bike to ride. You know, now he's got his very own Mike Buff Fat Ripper. And this year, again, we kind of started getting away from trying to keep it so era specific. Okay, let's bring some kind of new school flavor into it.
Every year we tried to change it up a little bit, little colorway. With the new Fat Ripper, we added some black to it, and it looks really good. Came out really tough. My relationship with Oakley started in like 1980. They were the main sponsor of our tour. So when the opportunity came to redo them, make the bikes again, and Oakley they did repops of the grip, it was the perfect fit. It's a very unique grip. You can't buy them. It made the bikes that much more special. The 2020 Fat Ripper, we added a lot more black. The big black wall tire stands out so much. Went with the black on the back of the seat, black pads. We went with the new handlebar on that bike with a little more rise, a little more sweep in it, a lot more comfortable bar. The Fat Ripper is actually my favorite bike to ride. That's when I first started getting connected with SE, and that was the bike I chose. It's a very balanced bike. They're very fun to ride, up, down stairs, wheeling. It's, in my opinion, it's the most balanced bike they make.
This is more retro fun bike than it is replica bike, so to speak.
When I see kids in my neighborhood on ride outs, posting on Instagram, on any of the 4 bikes I have so far, it's a complete honor. I take nothing for granted in this. It's unbelievable to me. My favorite aspect of the bike life movement is, obviously it's the kids getting out riding. They would not be involved in the bicycle life at all if it wasn't for this movement. It's opened it up. They getting a lot of kids out of the house. How many fathers come up to me and thank me for getting involved, and it's the only connection they have with their kids. It's so widespread of what it does, and you go up to, like a local ride, you get 400 or 500 people in their youth, and getting them out of the house, not playing video games and all that stuff it's a huge movement, and it's in a great positive direction. I think D-Blocks is the most positive, greatest role model there is out there. He doesn't have no hidden agenda. He pushes this because he loves it. He's great to the kids. He's probably the best role model out there for this bike life.
Over the years, we've done a Mike Buff 20-inch, 29-inch, 26-inch fat bike. We've done 4 bikes, but we're not done yet. There's more bikes and there's more Buff.
I can wheelie farther than Todd Lyons, and that's all I care about. I'll push myself as hard as it takes. When he sets it down, I'll set it down.
I'll accept his challenge.